Hi, I'm Mark Steber, Chief Tax Information Officer at Jackson Hewitt. Similar to last year, the IRS will likely be sending out more tax audit letters and tax notices this year than ever before. The IRS sends out well over 1 million notices and letters a year, and for many reasons. Well, nobody knows the exact details of this process, but we do know that you have a higher likelihood of getting a notice if you report something that doesn't match up from your employer, like a mismatched information on your W-2 wage statement. If you leave something off your tax return, like dividends or interest or other income from a W-2 from a small job, or your information doesn't match what's reported to the IRS by a third party, like a bank or an employer, you have a higher likelihood of hearing from the IRS. Also, notices and letters go out for other reasons, including dependent claim problems, incorrect deductions claimed, abnormal-looking other data, or returns that are just plain wrong from a math error or not signed, or missing a balance due check. So what do you do when you get a letter or notice from the IRS? Well, first, open it immediately and make sure you understand it and the timing of the requested response. Do not ignore it. If you receive a response form, you're generally supposed to fill that out and return it, whether you agree or disagree with the claims in the notice. The IRS is simply looking for you to tell them what you're planning to do, agree or disagree. If you have any questions or at all not completely clear, this is where you should engage a trusted tax professional to help you out. Many IRS notices are created automatically by computer, and as such, sometimes it may not be correct. So that's why it's important to talk to someone who understands. Most importantly, if you disagree with the letter, and even if you do agree, it's best to get a second opinion. In summary, if you get an IRS letter or notice, it can feel scary, and you may have concerns or questions. Get help. Even if you do agree with the letter, still seek a second opinion, especially if it says you owe money. A professional can potentially help you reduce the amount owed, or at least give you your options. There are also a few precautions you can take to minimize the problems in receiving an IRS notice in the future. For example, include all income from all sources on your tax return, and maintain your information statements like your W-2s and 1099s for your records. Make sure you're diligent about keeping meticulous records, and it's key to many problem resolutions, especially for any deduction or credit that you claim on your tax return. You should remember that even if you did not get an income statement, such as a 1099 or W-2 regarding work you did, you must still report the income on your tax return. Just because you didn't get a statement doesn't mean the IRS doesn't know about it. If there are any changes in your tax information after you filed your tax return, file an amended return as soon as possible. And finally, be sure your personal information is always up to date with the IRS, like your name and mailing address. If the IRS needs to send you a letter, but you no longer live at the address on file, the clock is still ticking, and you may owe associated penalties and interest for the time it takes them to catch up with you. It's important to remember 3 things anytime you get a notice or letter from the IRS or any kind of an assessment. First, don't ignore the notice. Once you have one, the IRS will not let go until it's resolved. Second, don't panic. You typically have plenty of time, and make sure you understand what's required. And finally, get help from a tax professional if you have any questions about your IRS letter or notice. Jackson Hewitt's Tax Debt Resolution Service offers free consultations and a 100% money-back guarantee. For more information, visit jacksonhewitt.com today.